pointers and an Atlanta win. That was going up at plus 129. So I thought that was an easy 129, but you both are saying Cleveland wins, so that kind of blows that one, right?
No. The easy part of it is, here's what you're going to want. So the easy part of it is the Trae Young threes. And then the other part of it sucks you in so you get some value at plus 129. And at the end of the day, you're going to need that water bottle. Guys, I always tell you, keep an empty water bottle right next to you when you're gambling and you're watching the TV, so you have something to throw at it. You don't want to ruin that thing, but you do want to throw it.
Don't want to break it, right?
Right. You want to throw something at the TV, right? You get a bad call or something, right? You end up like Bridges the other night.
All right. So I'm going to go with the Hawks though myself. So I'm taking the Hawks on the money line. But so that's that. Anybody got a prop for that game in, since mine got blown out of the water there with the Atlanta not winning there? So
I mean, you take the what? I don't know what it is.
I'm still putting it on there. I already have for that the threes and the 30 points, the 3 threes, and Atlanta win. So you got any more? Anybody got a prop for that game? No?
I don't have it. I like Trae Young over anything. So whatever his points is, take us over.
35 right now he's at. So
done. Yeah. It'll probably go off at what, 32.5, and you'll think that's too much. And he'll have 18 by halftime and headed to 36 by the fourth quarter. I'm just saying, like, they're gonna let him score. But at the end of the day, I like smart player. Garland's out of what? Vanderbilt?
Vandy.
Is he out of
Vandy? I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember where he came from. But that's that. We got the one more game to see who gets into that 8th spot, and that's the Pelicans and the Clippers. Now, to me, the Clippers are always going to be the Clippers, and when they get to the playoffs, I just don't trust them to do anything ever. But and I happen to really like this Pelican teams. But we got the Pelicans going off at +4, and the plus 140, 148, 146 for the money line, and the over and under at 215. How do you see this one going down, Jack?
Everybody watched that game last night. I watched the Pelicans. I made money on the Pelicans because I don't believe that San Antonio has anybody that can just take over a game. And they proved it. The Pelicans have 2 of them. And when Brandon Ingram got hot early, I thought the game was over because McCollum's going to find his way. The difference in the next game, though, is that I believe Paul George is going to play for the Clippers. And Terrence Mann's a really good defender. And how's Brandon Ingram going to react to those guys guarding him? I don't think Brandon Ingram's going to have a good game. I think when Paul George gets on somebody, or a Terrence Mann, a good defender, gets on somebody, they lock them down. And now you just have McCollum. And now can McCollum just take over a game by himself? Yeah, he can. But I'm not worried about the 4 points laying it. I'll take the Clippers at home. That's my thoughts. It's a low over under 215.5. Going to be defensive.
Yeah. Go ahead, Locke.
I mean, I agree. It was a tough loss against Minnesota that Los Angeles had to go through, blowing that 10-point lead in the fourth, something like that. You just have to finish that type of game. But I mean, good for Minnesota. They have a good team. Hopefully, D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns can be consistent throughout the playoffs. I think Anthony Edwards is going to have a great playoffs. He's the future of the NBA, in my opinion. Playoff P. I love Paul George. I'm just a Paul George stan. I can't.
Are you?
I am. Ever since he dunked on LeBron in Indiana, that was nice. I just respected that ever since.
My thing is that Paul George is not necessarily an alpha, but he is an alpha compared to Brandon Ingram.
1,000%.
Ingram was an alpha the other night, but he played a college basketball team. He had nobody guarding him. And when he has nobody guarding him, he rises up and destroys you. But now he's got Paul George to contend with, or even Terrence Mann. Either one of them. Terrence Mann is tough. I mean, he's a poor man's Kawhi Leonard. He's just really strong, though. I mean, that last name is perfect for him. And I just kind of believe that at the end of the day, 4 points to lay against the Pelicans. And again, the Pelicans, it's a fair value. I think the Pelicans should probably be getting 7.5, but because they looked so good the other night, beating that Spurs team, you're like, everybody and their mother's like, oh, McCollum and Ingram going to drive this team now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think McCollum will come back and score 22, 23.
See, here's the thing to me. Los Angeles has no offense. It's Paul George. Now, if Jackson, if any of them other guys can step up and do something, then they have a chance. So if you're New Orleans, you can let Paul George get 40. You can let him get 45. As long as those other guys don't do anything and that you got them locked down, then that team, that's how you stop their offense. So maybe their defense is, and maybe the under then for that's going to be the spot, because if they're locking them down, trying to stop that offense, I mean, it's going to take one hell of a defensive effort by LA then to do the same. And I don't trust LA in the. I mean, he said it, playoff P. I don't trust them at all. Like when playoff P shows up, they lose. You know.
Yeah, but LA is another one of those teams though. Like Minnesota. I know